Hi. Hi, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Please unmute your mics and say hello to me.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Can I see your face? I can at least know one. Please turn on your video. Let's see your face, your beautiful faces. Hi, Blessing. Good
evening, ma'am.
So we are doing anko. We are both wearing red. Good evening. Hello. I'd like to meet you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, Victoria. Hello, Chinelo. Hello, Chidima. Hello, my beautiful friend Amina. Hello. Oh, wow, Chinelo, you made it. It's okay.
I'm
Good to
just
see
getting
you.
home now, so I said I'm just indoor now, so let me just get in and log and relax.
Hi, everyone. I'm back. Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Can you hear me now? Yes,
Yes,
I
I
can
can.
hear you now. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
evening.
I'm happy we made it. I'm happy we're here. I'm happy to see you. Yeah. Hello, Chinelo. Good evening. Let's just hold on a bit, say like 3 more minutes and see if we have more people joining before we start. Did we get that? Please unmute. You can unmute and talk to me, please.
Hello, good evening. This is
Good
Chidema.
evening.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
this place is
beautiful
like,
friend Chidima.
yes. Good evening.
Well, I can't see your face. I would
Oh,
have
sorry.
loved to put a face to the name.
Oh.
I can see you now. Good evening. I sent your stuff yesterday.
Can you see it? Can you?
Yes, I
I don't
can
know what
see
to
your
do.
face.
I don't know if
Yes.
you can see it.
I can see you now. I can see you.
All right, all right.
Good to see you. I said I sent your stuff yesterday.
Okay, thank you. So I'll be
Yes.
expecting it by tomorrow.
Hopefully, yes, you should.
All right.
So good to meet you.
Mm.
Hi, Chinelo. Chinelo is going again. Hello, Victoria.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
You're always glowing and sparkling like.
Thank you.
You have a 9 to 5, right?
Me?
You have a 9 to 5 job, right?
Yes.
Okay. You don't look like someone that has a 9 to 5.
Honestly, I'm trying my best not to lie.
How do you juggle it? How do you juggle it? And you're able to put out so much content and all that. How do you juggle it?
Well, I prioritize my activities.
Wow.
Since I know that I work throughout the day. Once I'm back in the evening, that's when I put in my
Wow.
time for my business. And sometimes I
Wow.
stay awake till 12.
Oh my God. What time do you leave for work?
I leave 7:30, 8.
Wow. Wow.
Because
It's
it's
still
zone
fair
40 a.m.
enough. At least you don't wake up, you don't leave the
No,
house by 4 a.m.
I don't wake up. No, my office is not far away from where I stay.
Okay,
So give and take
okay.
30 to 45 minutes. I'm in the office.
You're in the office. Oh, beautiful. I'm always like, this madam is, hey, she's doing so well. Like,
Thank
it's
you.
a whole lot. I know what it is to put up content before you think about what to put, and then, you know,
Exactly.
engage
Not
people.
really
You really
easy.
engage. Yeah, you really engage
Not
people. I
easy.
like it a lot.
Thank you
Well
so much.
done.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Hi, Amina. The Afra's signature madam. Blessing. Okay, yes, I spoke with Blessing already. Chinelo, I want to hear your voice now. Chinelo.
I'm here.
I know. How you doing? Lele. All you 9 to 5 people, I hail you. I hail you. How you doing?
It is well.
Were you able to rest today?
Were
Were you able to rest a little bit?
No rest though.
But Abuja people, work is not, going to work is not so hectic now. Abuja Connect.
Well, it depends. It depends on your work schedule and probably
Okay.
your profession. Yeah.
Okay. I hear people say they are envying people who live in Abuja because they don't have to wake up by 5 and be on the road and get home late. So probably that doesn't apply to everybody.
No, it does. It does. Well, it depends if how close your house is to the office. Like me, that I know where I stay. If I have to go to court, I have to be in the court by 9 o'clock. So if I have to leave probably by 7, because along
Yeah.
the Kubwa Expressway, there are like 2 different places where there are serious traffic. So I have to leave early. So
Okay.
it depends on where you're staying. If you're staying even within town, it depends still. Those staying around
Wow.
that Nyanya, there are people
Wow.
staying in short, those staying in Nasarawa, they have to leave very, very early to come into town because of the
To
traffic.
town.
Some people leave their
Wow.
house by 4:30, 5 a.m.
Wow.
so that they can
Wow.
get into town because of the long traffic and all. So
Okay, so that means Nasarawa is like a suburb that is close to Abuja. So people can actually walk in Nasarawa and walk in
a
Abuja
lot
and live in
of
Nasarawa.
civil servants live in Maraba. Some live in
Oh,
Kefi, Maraba, Aso. So it's where they can afford the rent.
okay, I
But to
get.
me, I always see it as if I calculate how much the rent is, and I calculate the stress, and then check the amenities that are around that area. If I calculate it and then equate it with living inside some of the places inside Abuja,
That are
it's
even
better for me.
expensive. It's better.
Yes, it's better
Mm-hmm.
because
It's better.
if you tell me to live in Maraba or so, and I'm spending like uh let's say 500, or I don't know how much they spend in transport, but you don't have water in the house. You have to pay this bola to bring
Yeah, to bring water.
merua water
Yeah.
for you. You have to pay for light. You don't have constant light. You have to you're not even sure of the security of your area. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if I have to equate that and then equate where I'm staying, where I know I'm sure I have water, I have constant light, I have security. I'll just tell you, I don't regret why if I'm paying. And I end up,
Yeah.
if I calculate what I'm paying, my house rent, it would be close to what you're paying where you are. And you are
Mm-hmm.
suffering because
And
you
you're
have to rush
stressed.
home. So even when you rush, to meet up with the traffic, by the time you are getting home, so I'm getting home around 9, 10,
Hmm.
and you have to leave the house very early again. So it doesn't
I,
gel.
I completely agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah. Mental
Yeah.
health is very, very important in all of this. Yeah.
Uh,
I agree
it's
with
very,
you.
very important.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I think we've been able to wait a bit for people to come in. We have more people, but let's see. I know Sunday evening is really tight for everybody because most online stuff are on Sunday evenings now. Yeah, but the replay will be available, so we'll send out the replays. I'm sorry some of us didn't get the emails. We actually did a bulk email sending yesterday, but I'm so sorry some of us didn't get it. I actually hope that's not what is delaying other people because I also tried to send via the various channels that we got people from Instagram and Facebook, basically. Yeah. So please tell me, how many of us are in the skincare business already? Can you just type it in the chat box if you don't want to talk to me? Marcella, good evening. I've not heard your voice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Marcella, good evening.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Can we see your face? Can we see your beautiful face? Yay.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Hi, good evening. How are you doing today? Good to
I'm
see
fine.
you.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's good
Thank you
to
for
be here.
signing up.
This is the
Yeah,
first time.
I'm
Yeah,
happy to have you.
yeah. Though
Yeah.
it was almost late.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm happy you came on. Yes. Are you in the skincare business already? Skin or
Uh,
hair? Which one?
no, I'm just trying to carve, something for myself in the
Okay.
industry. Yes, so far
Okay.
what I've been doing is just making things and giving to very close people. So
Okay. So did you get like
yeah,
was it like a DIY, is it like a DIY thing you're doing, or have you trained?
exactly. Yes, for now.
Okay.
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you play around with?
Just bar soaps
Bar
for now.
soaps. Oh,
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great, great, great. Well done, well done, well
Thank
done,
you.
well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so good to have everyone here. So good. And my mom is here too.
Okay. Good evening, ma.
Okay. Yeah. Mommy say good evening. You need to unmute. You need to
Yeah,
unmute.
I have done that.
Okay, mommy.
Yeah. Nice to be here, right?
Yes, mommy.
Good
Thank
evening,
you. Thank you
everyone.
for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, mommy. Okay, so I'll just go right into my slide for today. Like I said, it's not a practical class. It's just me showing you what is obtainable at the moment, right? It's just me showing you what the cosmetic industry in Nigeria is. So I'll walk you through my slides. Okay, so this is it. Can we go ahead now? Is it okay to start?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So I said cosmetic formulation in Nigeria. And so basically my name is Busola. I know many of us know me already from Instagram or wherever. My name is Busola. And I know some of us have taken my courses, one course or the other, especially the BASO course. And I'm really happy we're doing well with it. Sorry, before I forget, is Amina here? I haven't spoken with Amina.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, right. Couldn't
Hello.
have missed that. Hi, good evening.
How are
How
you?
you doing?
I'm doing
Yeah,
fine, thank you. Thank you.
good to see you. Good to see you.
Good
Welcome.
to see you too, and good to see everybody on the screen.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So how's the business doing?
Well, we're doing very well. We've just started, and we hope it will, with this course and other courses, will improve what we want to achieve.
Yes, definitely we will. The most important thing is that we keep our eyes on the ball,
Yeah,
we keep moving. Consistency is very important. Yeah, one of the things that can affect us is when you start and then you stop. And then what I like a lot about Victoria is the way she's consistent. Like, so I'm just like, this lady has a 9 to 5. How's she doing it? It's just encouraging when you keep at what you're doing. Before you know it, everything will just it doesn't mean you're perfect, it doesn't mean you've arrived, but the fact that you keep learning and you keep showing up, it's a matter of time. Yeah,
it's true.
So
it's true.
For me, basically, I started out in the natural skin and hair care industry because I was basically curious. I wanted to, at the time I was having some challenges with my son, and I was told that going natural was going to help us a lot. Okay, so it was going natural with food and going natural with skincare. And with food, I could understand, but skincare, I was curious. How does skincare affect, someone's well-being, you understand? And that was when I started doing a lot of research, and I got to know that the products we use on our skin, they actually go into our pores, and they affect our general system, they go into our bloodstream and all of that. So I picked a lot of interest in that, and I started making products, and then I went professionally and all of that. And my hair used to be retouched, so I had to chop off my hair, and I didn't I didn't go natural with my hair immediately because I was really, really not wanting to cut my retouched hair. But there's no way I can be making natural hair products and then my hair is retouched. I just felt I wasn't going to be selling my brand. So after a while, I had to chop my hair and then grow my natural hair, which you can see now. So that's how it's been. It's been a journey of learning, evolving, and doing a whole lot. So I'll move on.
Need a
And
lot of patience.
sorry? Can
I
you
say
say
you
again?
need a lot of patience. You have to exercise patience. I say you need a lot of patience.
Yeah.
You have to exercise patience in all you are doing to see that, to be able to achieve what you want.
Yes, yes. One of the I keep saying it, grooming natural hair has actually even taught me patience, because the more you are in a hurry and trying to the more you're damaging your hair. And when you calm down and you take your time to detangle and you take your time to mist your hair and brush from the tip and work your way upward, it's a lot of patience. So natural skincare is not just about it's a complete package. It shows you the wellness side of life. It shows you how to nurture, not just doing things. You actually calm down and learn the nurturing, that comes with it. And that's why I'm really attracted to brands that bring in a whole lot of wellness tips to their publicity, that infuse such things with their brand. I love it a lot. Yeah. So from a research I did, there's a company called Technoview, and from one of their studies, it's shown that the beauty and personal care market in Africa, right, is poised to grow by $1 billion in the next 5 years, like $1 billion. So this just shows that Africa is, why do you think all the brands keep coming to Africa, right? All the foreign brands, they keep penetrating the African market. One, we have the numbers. Where abroad they give birth to one child, two children. But here in Africa, we give birth a lot. So we have the population, and then we have that potential for market. And that's the reason we also must tap into it, right? We have to tap into it, because personal care products are more like products that people cannot do without, So it's a matter of positioning yourself in a way that will make people come to you. And yeah, and it keeps progressing, right? It keeps progressing. It also shows that, two products I found that is really trending, that has not gained so much weight, is growing, is the men's skincare products and facial products. Facial products has been there all time, is an all-time bestseller. People always want to have beautiful faces, right? I'm sure Victoria knows that. Facial products, it's an all-time bestseller, but something that is really booming now is the men's skincare product. So if you're thinking of a niche to focus on, men's product is something to look at. Creating a range of products for men, because even men are becoming aware of taking care of their skin, especially with the beard gang thing now. So they're more conscious about taking care of their skin. And I tell you, most of my male products, they don't even price. They don't even negotiate. Once you just tell them this soap is good for you, this oil is good for you, this cream is good for you, they just credit your account and expect the product sent to them. So it's something to look at. Be able to convince men and get them on your customer list. So the products we find in this niche are skincare products, hair care products, makeup, cosmetics, and fragrances. So fragrances is also something I see that is doing well now. A lot of people are doing fragrance oil business, and it's really doing well. So it's maybe something you want to consider. And for distribution, it used to be just offline, but now online is taking the lead as well. So as you do your offline marketing, your mouth to mouth, how do I put in a word of mouth marketing, also look at your online marketing and be able to blend both of them together. The other thing is looking at Africa as a whole as your target market and not just Nigeria. I tested an ad at a time. I did an ad to Kenyans, and I had a whole lot of Kenyans like showing interest in my course and all of that. So it was really surprising because it was just a test, you know. And the funny thing was that we could communicate. Like, it's not like they don't understand. It's more like I'm talking with a Nigerian, you know. It was more like the same challenges, the same, you know, like we're in the same country. It just felt normal. It didn't feel like I was talking to somebody in another country. So you want to look at targeting countries like Kenya, like South Africa, Egypt. I think there's a conference that usually goes on in Egypt. It's skincare conference. It's really good. I haven't attended, but I hear there's prospects for Egypt too. And this is the reason why it's good to consider having NAFDAC number. Now, I hear a lot of people say, having NAFDAC does not mean that your product is original, does not mean that your product is this and that. Yes, we know that the system is corrupt. But the truth is that even when the system is corrupt, it's still good to do the right thing. Because those people that you're saying that they are corrupt, when they catch you, they will charge you like like you actually beat the law. Do you understand? They will still apprehend you for not fulfilling the law of the land. So why not just save your head, save your integrity, and just do the right thing? Okay. I have NAFDAC numbers for my products, and whether it is by whether you want to tell me it doesn't matter, whether you want to tell me there are big bands that have NAVNAC number, and whatever you want to say, it just gives me peace of mind to be able to send my product anywhere. Do you understand? So please just feel free to let me know if you have any comments, anything to say. I'll be glad to just answer.
Okay, my question might be towards the end on the NAFDAC registration.
Okay.
Is it okay to go ahead and ask now, or I can keep it for later?
Okay, we haven't really talked about NAFDAC, so but you can ask. You can ask. Let me just, if it's something I'll attend to later, I'll just note it.
Okay, like if you have a whole lot of like for instance, I'm into skincare. I have a whole lot of skincare products. Let's say I have like 100. Do I have to register that 100 items with NAFDAC, or one registration covers everything?
All of them. That's the downside with NAFDAC. They want you to register every single product. Every single product. Yeah. So you may not start with registering everything at once. You may start with registering your bestsellers, you know, and then you progress from there. But the thing is, what I found is once people know that you have some NAFDAC numbers, they are more confident to even buy those products that don't have NAFDAC numbers too.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because they are Nigerians. They understand that the fact that you even place premium on obeying regulations, already wins their heart. And that's also if you have a good product. So the most important thing is you have on some, the other ones you get them as, as occasion allows you, right? But
Okay.
it's okay to start with your bestsellers.
All right.
Yes. So I want to talk about cosmetic ingredients here. And I just put up a few list of ingredients. There are a whole lot of ingredients, like a whole lot of ingredients, right? So, but the ones I'm talking about here are the ones I have tried on myself, the ones I've tried on customers, and I found that they work amazingly well. Don't worry to write too much. I'll be sending us the slides after the webinar, so you have a copy of it, right? So I just didn't want to send it ahead of time so that you people not go and do a FICO and cram everything and not now show up. Because some people may just have the slides and then they will not show up, and it's very important that I get to meet you. Okay, so don't worry about taking too many notes. I'll send you the slides after now. So something I found that really works is vitamin A. We have vitamin A is a rejuvenating agent. It's a skin normalizer. It's good for both you're working with older people who are dealing with anti-aging, who need anti-aging products, or people with acne. We have different derivatives of vitamin A. And you find that even in our DIYs, we use a lot of carrots, carrot powder, carrot puree, carrot soap. Carrot is loaded with vitamin A, but and they work very well. So that's why it's my number one. Like, I love vitamin A. But if we're using it in the retinol form, it's best for nighttime. It's best for nighttime. I'm going to walk us through how to come up with your formula in this webinar. I'm going to walk us through how to come up with a professional formula, but I just need to introduce you to the ingredients one after the other. Not all the ingredients though, but the ones that you also find in Nigeria. And that's why I said cosmetic formulation in Nigeria. Many times we watch YouTube videos that, where they use all kind of ingredients, but the issue is those ingredients are not available to us. And then you have to make products that will work for the people in your location. So what you need to do is to source for ingredients that are available to you. There's no need breaking your head over trying to use one ingredient that is not available to you. How do you make that happen? So that's very crucial in cosmetic formulation in Africa, which is why we're also looking at our herbs, our plants, and see something that has been found to work well in Africa is zobo leaf. When I got to know that hibiscus was zobo, I was like, wow, like zobo that we just drink. And it works great for both skin, it works great for hair. I use it in my rinse out conditioner. It gives it that pink color, beautiful pink color. And we wouldn't know that we have such rich nature in Africa. So it's important that when we're learning cosmetic formulation, we try to bring it home. What do we have around us? What is available to us? And then we become creative with those things that are available to us. Not to say that you're not going to have to buy things from people that ship in, but at least you know that you're making use of what is available to you. You understand? So vitamin B3 niacinamide is something that works great as well. It's really good. It's also very good for treating acne, very good for treating hyperpigmentation and all of that. And then we have vitamin C. Vitamin C is fantastic. In black soap, you find a lot of orange peel powder, lemon peel powder. It's all because of the vitamin C that they have in them. So it's really good. It's and then we have the ones that the derivatives. We have the L-ascorbic, we have the sodium ascorbic phosphate, we have the magnesium ascorbic phosphate, We have different derivatives of vitamin C. So you really need to know the property of the particular ingredient you're using. Like I said, I'm going to show us, but I just want us to have an understanding, of some of the ingredients that is available to us. And then we have vitamin E. It's really good. It's a protector. It's an antioxidant. It helps to reduce sunburn cell formation. It's really, I don't think I have any product that does not have vitamin E in it. Like, I would always add a 1% of vitamin E to most of my products. When I'm making oil-based products, I use the oil derivative of vitamin E. And then when I'm making water-based products, I use any other derivative of vitamin E.
We've lost you. It seems we've lost her.
Yeah, I think it logged out or something. Probably the network logged that out.
Mm.
Maybe it's a network problem.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, thank God you're back.
So sorry. So sorry, my network.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It was really poor. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so we're talking about depigmenting agents. So these are the ingredients that we really need to know how to work with. Okay, these are the ingredients we need to know how to work with. Kojic acid, alpha-arbutin, licorice extract, mulberry extract, glycolic acid, which falls in the category of AHAs. So we have glycolic acid, we have lactic acid, we have what's that again? Glycolic, lactic, and when I remember out, I'll mention it. This is phytic acid, sepipyite, tranexamic acid. Tranexamic acid is not a natural ingredient, but I have found that it really works. It really works. And azelaic acid, those are my two go-tos now. Tranexamic and azelaic acid, they really work very well. And we have reduced glutathione too. Okay, so I was going to try to remember mandelic acid. These are the ones that are exfoliants and they are chemical exfoliants. So rather than the sea salt that we use, to scrub physically, we could use the chemical exfoliants. I found that these ones, they don't cause, for a long time I was scrubbing, manually, and I realized that I kept breaking out because I have a sensitive skin, right? So anytime I finish scrubbing, I break out. And with more study, I found that chemical exfoliants work better because they don't traumatize the skin. One of the things to avoid when making face products is ingredients that will traumatize the skin, because by trauma, you'll be adding more, will be adding more issues to, what you're trying to solve. So the problem always starts from inflammations. And once you have inflammations, you would end up with a dark spot, and you want to avoid any form of inflammation. So, and that's why you find that when you go to spas and all, they're always very mild and gentle. I remember the first time I went for a facial, it was like, scrub this thing now. That was when I didn't know better. But now I know that anybody that is even scrubbing and tugging your face, you should caution the person. It means the person doesn't really know what he or she is doing. You can tug your body because the skin on the body is a lot tougher, but you shouldn't do that with your face. We need to be as gentle as we can on the face, which is why chemical exfoliants are just brilliant. And then we have other ingredients like allantoin, hyaluronic acid, glycerin, they are humectants. We have propane diol 1,3. Propane diol is one ingredient I love because it does two jobs. It penetrates the skin, right? So for any product to work, it needs to get to the dermis. So I'm sure we remember integrated science. We have the epidermis, we have the dermis, and we have the, hello?
Hello.
Okay, and we have the hypodermis. So for any product to work, it needs to get to your dermis because that's where the collagen synthesis happens. So when you see products that say collagen cream, it's not like there's collagen in it. Collagen is not a product. Collagen is produced in the dermis, So whatever product we're using needs to get to the dermis to actually work. And the epidermis is 4 layers by itself, and that means that product needs to travel down the 4 layers of your epidermis before it actually gets to the dermis, which is why I love the propane diol, because it works as a penetration enhancer, and then it works as a solvent. So if you're going to be using things like salicylic acid in your formula, Propanediol is a very good solvent, and it's the natural dehydrative of propylene glycol. Okay, so we have occlusives like beeswax, shea butter, cocoa butter. We have thickeners like xanthan gum, guar gum, cationic guar gum, and there's one I found now I've been working with so good, Crotix. It's also a thickener and it's a liquid thickener, so it's really good in shower gels and liquid formulations. Then we have emulsifiers like cetyl alcohol, stearic acid. We have EWAX, NF, EWAX, traditional EWAX, and all that. So before I go to showing you the template of how to make your formulation, let's look at the skin type indicator. So there was a research done by a scientist called Bauman, and I'm attaching that. I have a research document on that, which I have attached to the link I would also be sending. I promised to share my library with you, so I'll be sending you like about 20 ebooks on skincare that will really help you gain knowledge, right? So there's a research that, let me just look for it and scroll through it. So I'll stop sharing this one and I'll share the other one I want you to see. Okay, so can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is a research done by Bauman, and it's called the Bauman Skin Type Indicator. So the main purpose of this research was, you find that the skin, the basic thing we learn is that we have oily skin, we have dry skin, and we have normal skin. But science has shown that we have, the skin is much more delicate than that. It's not just oily skin, it's not just dry skin, it's not just normal skin. We still have many more things to deal with. If you've been in the skincare industry, you will know. Like I, for example, I don't just have oily skin, I have an oily, sensitive, and resistant skin type. So I could make a serum for Victoria now, and she starts seeing results in 2 weeks. But I can use that product and I don't see results in 2 months because my skin is resistant. Before ingredients or things get to work on my skin, it takes much more, effort. So I need to do exfoliation. I need to go to the spa, use my steaming stuff so that my pores can really open up. And then I also still need to be careful because my skin is sensitive so that I don't traumatize the skin. So the science found out that, like, these scientists, they found out that skin is not just oily, dry, and normal. There's more to it, and came up with these reports, which I will be adding to the files you're going to have. So you can read through it. It's really going to help your knowledge, because knowledge is power, like we know. And here is comparing skin hydration, oily skin versus dry skin, and what transepidermal water loss is, and all of that. So this is the short I put in my slide. So I'll go back to my slide. I don't want us turning our heads. So I'll just go back to my slide. I just wanted you to see the report. This HA here talks about hyaluronic acid. It's 1,000 times the weight in water. They call it the the mother of all humectants. Like, it's 1,000 times better than glycerin. It's 1,000 times better than sodium lactate. So it's the king of all humectants. That's what hyaluronic acid is called. So just take your time to read through it. You find you don't have to read it word for word. Just, it will help you get some new knowledge. So I'll just go back to my slide, and I hope we can see this. So here, Bauman breaks down the skin type. We have the oily, we have the dry skin, and then he further breaks it down to sensitive and resistant skin, and then further breaks it down to pigmented and non-pigmented skin. And then he further breaks it down to wrinkled and non-wrinkled skin, or tight skin. So in coming up with a product for your customer, these are things you need to have in mind. Does this person have a dry or oily skin? Does this person have a sensitive skin or a resistant skin? Does this person have pigmented skin? Is this person dealing with dark spots or sunburn? Or is the person's face smooth and fine like Victoria's own? Is the person dealing with wrinkles, or is the person's face tight? So these are things to look at when you're coming up with a product. And in the skincare course, I talk about this extensively, but I just needed us to know before I go to that aspect of coming up with a formula. So it's very important. This is very important. And that's the reason I find it difficult to just make products, general products. I find it difficult to make general products because you don't know if the person you're making the product for has um, tight skin, if you're not seeing the person. Like, I mean, if you just make products to put on the shelf. And that's why some people come up. And that's why you find that very good brands, you still have people complaining, that they reacted to this, they reacted to that. So probably that product was not meant for somebody with oily skin, you get. Like, if I'm going to make face cream for somebody with with oily face, I could decide to make the cream oil-free. I could decide to make the face lotion oil-free and just use my water-based ingredients and my emulsifiers in it. But if somebody with dry skin picks up that same lotion, that person is going to say, this person does not even know how to make products, say, for all these Nigerian formulators. But that product was not made for you. The product was made for somebody with oily skin. If I'm going to make face cream for somebody with dry skin, then I'm going to be adding more moisturizers to it because I want to be able to help you moisturize your skin and begin to delay wrinkling, okay? So it's very important to understand this, be able to draw a chart of who your customer is. You're making a serum. Who is this serum for? Is it for somebody with dry skin, pigmented skin, wrinkled skin, or tight skin? So if you're able to define this from the beginning, it tells you what for. And this is also the reason why I'm not always quick to give people recipes. You find a lot of skincare people, you go for trainings and they bombard you with formulas. You get about 50 different kinds of formulas, and you're wondering, who is this product meant for? Who am I supposed to make this product for? They don't give you all of those details sometimes. So it's very important to know be able to draw the personnel of who is going to use your product. Does this person go out in the sun? Is she a market woman that stays by the roadside? Even if she's not a market woman, is she a bank marketer that jumps from, at one pool car and is going to see one client or the other? Be able to look at the lifestyle of that person you're making the product for. Like AHAs now can make you sensitive to the sun. And when I mean AHAs, I mean lactic acid, glycolic acid, mandelic acid. They give really good results, but they can make you sensitive to the sun if you expose yourself to the sun, especially when you don't use a sunscreen, which I don't even advise. If sunscreen is the only thing you're going to use in the morning, please let that be, you know. So especially if the person is going to be going out in the sun, you want to know that before recommending an AHA product. Because if it's somebody that is always out there in the sun, you don't want to recommend AHA for daytime, okay? You should want to leave that kind of product for night time when the person will be in the house. So a little percentage of it can still be tolerated, like this work from home periods. I've had a lot of people who buy my products who are, for me, that's been a no-no for them using AHAs during the day. But because they are mostly at home now, okay, I can include some AHAs, and like for days that you're in the house, you can use this and still wear your sunscreen. And they've gotten good results from it. So it's really good to know that our skin types is beyond oily, dry, normal. It's way beyond that. And that's the reason I thought, please let me know, do you find that interesting?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. It's fun. It changed my own formulation as well. It changed because when I started, oh my God, I broke out like I was using black soap on my face. You know, when you see videos of people using black soap and they're telling you that's what. So I started using black soap and I broke out seriously. Oh my God. And then that was when I knew that there is more to skincare than just the hype of black soap, the hype of, and maybe I should just throw in the tip now. It's not like black soap is bad for the face. Black soap is a good thing to use, but it's an alkaline product. Most soaps are alkaline, and our skin is slightly acidic. So there's something called the acid mantle of the skin. The normal acid mantle of the skin is between 5.5 to 6. Sometimes 4.2 is allowed when you're using AHAs. But normally you want your product to be between the pH of 5 to like 6.2. And that's the acid mantle of the skin. So if you disrupt that acid mantle, your skin is going to start reacting, right? And what can make it get disrupted? When you start using either too many products that are acidic or too many products that are alkaline. And that's why, for me, what I learned from that now is, even if I give you black soap to use on your face, I would then give you a toner. Now, in Nigeria, I was going to make a video, a TikTok video, to say, why are customers always thinking that when they say toner, it means something that will make you fair, right? A toner isn't supposed to make you fair. A toner is actually to balance the pH of your skin. So because most soaps are alkaline, you need a toner to bring down the pH of your skin again, so that your skin doesn't get disrupted. The acid mantle of your skin doesn't get disrupted. So the tip here is that when you use black soap for your face, always use a toner. So that toner will help to bring down the acid mantle of the pH of your face, and then you'll be able to follow on with the other products. I hope that helped. That tip saved my life, like, because I'll just use black soap and then I put on my cream and I move on, and then it kept giving me issues until I realized that, oh, I needed to use. So your toner can include rose water, which as hydrosols like lavender, other things, but the basic thing is that the pH of that product should be the pH of our skin, so that just helps to balance the acid mantle of the skin before you use other things. Yeah, so we move on to formula development now. We move on to formula development. So I'd like us to look at the ingredients here, and I really need you to talk to me here now. Okay, so for formulation, you need to be able to know the nature of your ingredients. Are your ingredients water-based ingredients? Are they oil-based ingredients? You need to be able to know what that ingredient is, to be able to know where to put them in your formula. So I just want us to tell me, vegetable glycerin, is it an oil-based product or a water-based product?
Water-based.
Fantastic. Yes, it's a water-based product. Alio, let me not call the botanical name. Aloe vera, is it water-based or oil-based?
Water-based.
Great. I don't want to call castor oil because that just shows that it is oil-based. Yeah. Cocos nucifera, is it water-based or oil-based?
Well, I don't know the
It's
the botanical name.
oil-based. That
Don't
is
worry, it's
coconut.
Ojoro. I did Ojoro. It's coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Yes, it's coconut oil, so it's oil-based, right? It's oil-based. We have benzimonium chloride. That's benzimonium chloride. What do you think it is? It's water-based. It's water-based. So, but then it depends on your supplier. It depends on the manufacturing company. You can find some companies who still make panthenol in a water-based form or in an oil-based form. So it's basically you knowing the nature of the ingredient you're using, because it can just spoil the whole thing. Like when I started formulating, there was a day I made a mistake and I poured my wax into my water phase.
Right.
And I'd weighed out all my water phase. I'd weighed out all my water, and it was a big batch. It wasn't me actually, it was a staff working with me. And before I looked back, she had poured it into the water, and that was how the whole thing just like got messed up. So it's very important to know the nature of your ingredients so that you can separate them and then be able to make your emulsion in a safe way. So I'll take us to a template that I have. It's really good. So one of the things this template to do for you is to also be able to have your formulas in soft copies. Because in this journey you're going to be writing a lot. Like you're going to be taking notes, you're going to be creating formula. My desire for everyone is to be able to come up with your own unique formulas, right? So, and in doing that, you need to be able to take a lot of notes. And if you don't have them in soft copies, it can boomerang, because if anything happens to that book, it will feel like the whole world is coming down. You understand? So it's really good for you to start early with, having your formulas in soft copies, which is why I find that template really good. Let me find it. Give me a moment. Sorry, it looks like somebody's trying to get in. Let me see. I keep getting those on my email. Okay, I can't see the person. But I keep getting posts on my email. Okay, so I've disabled the waiting room so that anybody can come in. Let me find that form template. New share. So can you see this? Hello, can we see this?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is a template for your formulation. All you need to do is just to edit it and then save a new copy, edit, save a new copy and all, or you can just keep one. What you do here is you can put your company name here, formulation sheet, let me say Forever Yasaph. Yeah. If it's a hair conditioner you're making, maybe it's a rinse out hair conditioner. You put the date when you created that formula, because all of these details will really help you. There are times you just made a product that came to you, spontaneously, and you give it to someone and the person gets very good report from it. You don't want to start racking your head that, hey, when did I make that formula? Oh, yay, which night was that? Hi, do you understand? Because one of the things customers have, one of the issues they have with we formulators in Nigeria is we're not able to make the same product over and over and over again. If you agree with me, you can just let me know. That's one of the issues customers, true, right? Yeah.
It's
So
true.
I'm guilty
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, so we're not able to make the same formula over and over again, and which is why some people have lost trust in Nigerian formulators. Like, I beg, you buy a product now, by the time you want to buy the third one, the color is changing,
Different.
or the consistency is changing, or so they've lost that trust, and you find that a lot of people are going back to buying foreign products. So that's one of the things that will help you if you can document everything about that formulation, and not just in books, which is why I think this template is so great. You can save it to your Google Drive and be able to access it anywhere at any time. Okay, so the dates of that you made the product. So let's take today, for example, 28th of March 2021. And then I put version here because I tell my students, you need to be able to put on the cap of a scientist doing research. There are times you make a product and it doesn't give you the exact, or maybe the product separated. I don't know if that has happened to anybody. The product could be stable for a while. It's happened to you, right? The product could be stable for a while, and then you find that after 1 week, the thing is giving way. You want to improve on that formula, and that's why I have this version here as version 1 or version 2 or version 3. So you'll be able to compare notes. How many EWAX NF did I use in this formula? Okay, so what should I use here? It just helps you to be able to document everything about your formulation. It's very important. This is what scientists do. Even the Oyinbo people, this is what they do that makes them look so good. Okay, you don't want to buy Vaseline today and Vaseline is thick and looking almost colorless. And then tomorrow you want to buy Vaseline, Vaseline is brown. You'll be like, hey, no, this one is fake. Oh, but that's what we are doing. You give somebody face cream today, the face cream is yellow. Tomorrow, the person orders for the product and the face cream is pink. And I'm like, what's going on here? So you want to be able to make the same product every time. You want to be able to make the same product every time. So which is why it's important to note your versions. It can be the same result product, but version 2, and you are allowed to upgrade. Companies put it out a lot. Like we have an upgraded version of our whipped shea butter. As long as the audience know that it is an upgraded version and they are expecting, a change, it's fine. But not that we just, change every now and then, then it looks like you don't really know what you're doing. So that's for the title. And then we have the water phase, which is the phase A. We have the oil phase, the phase B. We have the cool down phase. And then we have this area for notes. So with your water phase, you want to start with ingredients that, like your deionized water, right? You want to make sure that your formula always rounds up to 100%. This thing bothers me when I when I see some formulas, from some WhatsApp groups, and they put all kinds of ingredients, like 50 grams of this, 150 grams of that. And you can't, as a formulator, you can't work with grams. You can't work with teaspoons. You can't work with cup, because cups are different. You will not be able to get the same kind of product if you work with those kind of things. It's better to always work with grams and make sure you work with 100% formula. Whatever you want to use in that ingredient, let it round up to 100%. And then if it's not going to round up to 100%, let it be in your notes that outside the 100% formula, you now used 10% of emu oil. And, let it be detailed such that when you're not there, this is something that would also really help if you're looking for a grant or a loan, because nobody wants to give you money to do business if that business will not continue when you're not there. Do you understand? Like, you need to be able to be separate from your business. So if you're not there, is there a document you can hand over to your production manager? Or is there a document that somebody in your office can work with even if you're not around? So this just helps, because when they're looking at your books, they want to see the kind of systems you have in place. Can this business run without Busola? If not, then she needs to look into her structure. So this is one of the things that will really help you to be able to do that. So we put in our ingredients, your 100%, your grams, because now I put this XX here because sometimes you're not making 100 grams. Now for 100% is always equal to 100 grams of your product, but you want to make sometimes 1,000 grams. You want to make 5,000 grams. You put that here and then you put the function of that ingredient. So let's go to one of the tools I use that I can use to explain formulation, product formulation, and that's makingcosmetics.com. Okay, so can we see my screen? I'm on makingcosmetics.com now. Another website that is really helpful is Lotion Crafters. So Making Cosmetics is actually a website where you buy ingredients from. But the way they explain and narrate each ingredient, it helps a lot with creating your formula. It gives you a lot of ideas that you can work with. So let's take, for example, we want to make a simple body lotion. We want to make a simple body lotion that would hydrate and moisturize the skin. And okay, so I'll just edit this and make it body lotion. So our ingredients would be deionized water or distilled water. What else do you think should be here? Please tell me. Marcella, what else do you think should be here?
Wax.
In our oil, this is our water phase.
Okay, water phase. Okay.
Yes.
Glycerol.
Yes, glycerin. Glycerin should be here. And glycerin is here as an humectant. So we said a simple formula, so we could just leave it at that. Then we come to our oil phase, and we want to add our butter, right? Let's say we're using shea butter. What else?
Jojoba oil.
Yes, jojoba oil. And then we want to add our emulsifiers. So let's say eWax NF. I love eWax NF for body products. And a core emulsifier, cetyl alcohol.
What about
and in our cool down?
What does it do?
Stearic acid is also a core emulsifier.
Okay, so you can make do with just the two.
Yes, you can make do with just these two. Okay. It depends on you. It depends on you. Like I said, different experiments, right? I love to just use eWax NF and cetyl alcohol together, but some people use all three. It depends on what you want to achieve. Yes.
Okay.
It depends on you. And then as our cool down, definitely our preservative should be here. Every water-based product should have preservative. Don't let anybody. So what preservatives do you think we can use in this cool down phase?
Gemal Plus.
Gemal Plus.
Awesome. And Gemal Plus is good because it's a broad spectrum preservative, right? It ranges from pH of 3 to pH of 9. So I like to use preservatives that when you use, you can go and sleep. It's not that you put preservative now and then tomorrow when you check or after some time, you find the product is going mold. You don't want to ever experience that. Like you don't want your customer to ever have to complain that your product had mold or yeast or whatever, so Liquid Gemal Plus is good. Gluconolactone is also good. And then what else do you think should be in the cool down phase?
Essential oil.
Yeah, essential oils. So we could use lavender. Now, do you know that essential oils have dermal limits?
No?
Are you aware?
No.
Yeah. So in that link of formulas I'll be sending to you, there's a document there that shows you the dermal limits of essential oils. It's something I have also found from teaching students, that we don't really know that essential oils have dermal limits. Essential oils are very potent and they can be destructive. They can cause issues if they are overused. Okay, so it's always good to know the dermal limits of your essential oil so you can know how much of it that should go into your product. An essential oil like lemongrass essential oil, the dermal limit for lemongrass on face products is 0.2. You won't believe it. 0.2 in a 100% formula. And you find a lot of people use it at higher percentages. Over time, you find that the skin will now start reacting. It causes this thing called contact dermatitis. Over time, at first you may not notice, but over time you find that that person using that product will start having issues on the skin. So it's always good to look out for the dermal limits of your essential oils and stay within the dermal limits. And okay, so we can also choose to use a fragrance oil, or any extract you think works in cool down face. I love to use my extract in cool down face. Like I like to use lemongrass balm. It's not lemongrass, lemon balsamment. It works really well for brightening, any glow cream and all. I use it in my butters, body glow butters. And that comes in the cool down phase. So I'm saying this so that you know that there are also, it's not just vitamin E. I use them in the cool down phase too. So I'm saying this so you know that it's not just preservative and fragrance that goes to the cool down phase. Many of the extracts we use also work better when used in the cool down phase. Many times we destroy the potency of the extracts when we use them in the water phase, like when we make them go through the heating and the emulsifying from the beginning and all that. It kind of disrupts the stability of the extract. But when we use them in cool down phase, they work better. I found that out from using from making products as well. So let me see which product we should research on now. Okay, so let's say we want to use Oba oil. I'll go back to sharing from making cosmetics. Okay, and there's something missing in that formula. I always want to add a chelating agent to bind metal ions. And it also helps to adjust the pH of the product. Many times when you add a chelating agent to your product, you won't have to start adjusting the pH here and there, because it just helps to bind the metal ions and it works as a pH adjuster. You know, like we said, our product should fall within the pH of the skin. So in my water phase, I would like to add citric acid. And so maybe let's do the research on citric acid. So come to making cosmetics and we type in citric. So as you can see, we have the liquid. Oh, this not even see this citrus. Okay, so this citric acid, I just clicked on it. And it tells us that citric acid is an alpha hydroxy acid plus a buffering agent. So you come to the description. So if there's any, I do this a lot. If I find products maybe on the shelf and I look at the ingredients list and there's any ingredients I'm not familiar with, I just come to making cosmetics and do a search on the ingredients. It helps me to have a good understanding of what that ingredient does. So from the description here, citric acid is natural, inherently natural, as it occurs in citric fruits produced by fermentation of carbohydrates. It comes in a fine white powder. It's odorless, and the pH value is 2.2, which tells you that it is acidic, which is why if you add it to an alkaline solution, it will help you to bring down the pH. And it's easily soluble in water. So this already gives me an information about this ingredient, that this ingredient should be in my water phase, like we just did, because it's easily soluble in water. And then it helps me to know that it is a powdery ingredient. So I know that I'm not expecting it. If I want to buy it now from a supplier in Nigeria and citric acid now comes in a liquid form, then I should be able to ask questions. Why is the citric acid in lotion? And then the formulator should be, the supplier should be able to tell me that, oh, okay, it's been dissolved in 50% of water. And that just helps me to understand that, okay, it's already been dissolved in water, was used at 50%. So I take that to my formula and apply it as is needed. So look at the benefits here. It's an acidulant that's useful to adjust pH of products to make them more acidic or less alkaline. So like I said, it's a pH adjuster. It's a chelating agent. It helps to neutralize the minerals to enhance activity of antioxidants and preservatives. It has buffering effects, being that it helps to maintain pH between 2.5 to 6.5 and stabilizes active ingredients. And then at high concentration, it works as a typical AHA. So it can peel, it can help with smoothing, it can help with much. So just the same effect you will get from your lactic acid, you can also get from citric acid if you use it in high concentration. So high concentration is, let's look at the usage rate if they have that here. Okay, so look at the usage rate here. It says that do not use at greater than 10%. Okay, so that means you can use citric acid between 1 or 0.5 or whatever to 10%. Do not exceed 10%. So even if you want to use it as an AHA in high concentration, don't exceed 10%. And then it can be added to formulas as is, used externally. And another thing I like about this is they have sample recipes. So you can click on it to see how they have been able to incorporate the ingredients. Do you find this interesting? Because it just helps you to be more creative, right? When you already see how they were able to use the ingredients in their own formulation. Not like you want to copy their formula, because many of the ingredients they use may not even be available to you, but seeing how they've been able to use it would give you a good idea of how you should also use the ingredient. So in this product, they used it in a leave-in conditioning mousse, and it's used at 0.1%. This is to tell you how effective citric acid can be. It's really, really, a little goes a long way. So when you even want to use that high concentration, you need to start from maybe 5 and work your way up gradually if that's what you want to use as your AHA, right? So we can go back to our own sheet now and have an idea of what we want to, of how many citric acid we want to use in our own formula. So if we start from deionized water, sorry. So for this formula, let's say we want to use our water at 60% because it's a body lotion and we want the water phase to be more than the oil phase. And then we use glycerin. So what do you think we should use? How many percent do you think we should use for glycerin?
5.
5 grams, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then for citric acid, what do you think we should use?
2%.
I think 2% is high because as you can see in that formula, they use 0.1. So 2% is, yes, 2% is actually high. So we can just do 0.5. If we need more, then we can add and note it. Do you understand? Because if you use too much of it, your lotion will now be acidic. You may now be getting a pH of 4, which you don't really want for daytime. You know, for a night body cream, your pH can be around 4. But for a day body lotion, it's safe to, so that your customers don't start reacting to the sun. Once they start reacting to the sun, they start having sunburns. And then you are dealing with a whole, another set of issues again. You understand? So it's better to always make products that are safe for the skin's pH for daytime. And then you can go lower on the pH for night products. So we're done with the water phase. Then we'll come to our oil phase. Do you want us to research about shea butter? I think shea butter is a popular ingredient. Yep. So for our shea butter, we can do, how many percent do you think we should do?
15%.
Sorry?
15.
Whoa, that's a bit
15 will
high.
be high. 15 will be high because we're making a lotion, remember? We're making a lotion. Yes, for a body butter, yes, we can do that. But for a lotion that will run through a bottle or a pump head, that would be too high. So we can do 5 and then increase our oil instead of the butter. So that's the way you can tweak it. When you're making body butters, emulsion-based body butters, you can increase your butter and reduce the oil. But when you're making lotions, you increase your oil and reduce the butter. Do we get that?
Yeah.
So for the jojoba oil, we can use 10 grams. For our emulsifier, how many grams do you think we should use? So as a rule of thumb for me, I always make sure that my emulsifier, my oils, the totality of my oils and butters is 4 times my emulsion, my emulsifier. So like this is 15. My eWax NF, yes, my eWax NF should be 4. And then my cetyl could be 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are acts that work for me because I found that when you make lotion, sometimes you put it down for a while, you find that it separates, to just avoid all of those, you know, back and forth and drama. If you work with this, you find that you have stable products many times. You have stable products. Sometimes I tweak it up. I use stearic acid instead of cetyl. And then for stearic, I may need to use 2 grams. So just be able to keep your versions and find what works best for you. Because these emulsifiers also affect the feel of the product. you know, how it feels on the skin. Like I said, I like eWax NF. Silky wax is also something that is also really nice in lotions. BTMS 50 is also really good, but BTMS 50 is quite pricey, right? I try to just use that for my hair products because eWax NF doesn't work well with hair products. So for my own, you know, for my own formulations, I prefer to use my BTMS 50 for hair products because for hair products, you can't use products that your target is to use a lot of cationic polymers, cationic substances that will help to condition the hair. So BTMS works for that and works for skin. But because it's more pricey and you want to be able to stay competitive, you know, so I just streamline that to hair products. And then I use other wonderful emulsifiers for body products. So for Liquid Gemal Plus, have you ever researched that? Should we do that one?
Okay.
So let's come and search for Liquid Gemal Plus. Okay, let me be spelling times a double L. Oh, does it mean there's no Gemal Plus here? Let's go to Lotion Crafters then. Okay, so they have it in Lotion Crafters. You can see they have it in the powdery form. They have it in the liquid form. That's why I said ingredients cannot be streamlined to the way they look sometimes. Because if you say, oh, the Liquid Gemal Plus I know is liquid, how about if what your supplier actually bought is the powdered one, you know? So if it's not something you don't want to work with, fine, but at least you're aware that it comes in different forms. Excuse me. So this tells us a lot about the ingredients. It's a convenient, easy to incorporate version of Gemal Plus dissolved in a base of 60% propylene glycol. So this informs your decision. If you're going to use propylene glycol in that formula, you already know that your Liquid Gemal Plus was dissolved in propylene glycol. Do you understand? It was dissolved in 60% propylene glycol. So this just helps you to be informed that that product actually already has propylene glycol. Can be used in surfactant-based systems such as shampoos, body shower gels, conditioners with high water content. It's ideal for water in oil emulsions, oil in water emulsions, cream, lotions, and makeup and all of that. You can read up on it. And the INCI name. Now, this is something that is always very good to know as a formulator because it helps you to know the makeup of that ingredient. It helps you to know the real composition of that ingredient. Like this contains propylene glycol, diazolene ural, and then this other ingredient. So that's the inky name. And that's actually the name that NAFDAC wants to see on your products. Your inky name is what they want to see on your ingredients list many times. So look at the formulation guide. It tells you that it should be added to water phase or the emulsified portion of your formula at 50 degrees Celsius, okay? Or during the cool down stage, which is what we did. Adding your liquid Gemal Plus at above 50 degrees Celsius could result in compromising the preservative system of your product. So sometimes you find that you are using the correct ingredients, but you're not using it at the correct time. So maybe you went to add liquid Gemal Plus in the beginning when you want to heat your product, and you know your water phase needs to get to 70 degrees before you start blending. You would have destroyed the preservative system of liquid Gemal Plus if it is in that process. That's why you don't want to add it until your product has calmed down, cooled down, and then you can get, and that's the same thing I was saying about extracts. Many times we don't use our extracts properly. Mulberry extract, bearberry extract, licorice extract. I've seen people use them in the beginning of their formulation. The potency of that extract is already being compromised if you do that. So, and like I said before, it works from a pH, it's a broad range spectrum. It works from pH of 3 to 8. It's soluble in both cationic and anionic, non-ionic formulations, and it works well in the emulsified portion of, so even if you are adding it when you've already achieved your lotion, it will still blend in well, okay? And it's found effective at levels between 0.1 to 0.5. So we already have our usage rates, right? So what percentage should we use in our formula now?
0.1.
I would prefer 0.2.
I will prefer 0.5 because I don't like stories that touch. You know, I want to be sure that that product is really safe to use and can be on the shelf, especially if you supply supermarkets. Sometimes your products can be on the shelf for 6 months, you know, and that's the point. Your customer journey starts from when they start using your product. Do you understand? So you don't want to start explaining that, it's because that product has been on the shelf for 6 months, that's why it's now having mold. No. So there are some ingredients that I use it at the maximum rates. Do you understand that? So let's just open and see how it's used. So they also have formulations. This is a whole lot. So they want us to see how they incorporate liquid Gemal Plus in their formula. So as you can see here, this is a face moisturizer, and they used it at 0.5%. They used that 0.5%. And now this was used in their phase A, okay? But if you look at their ingredients, you will see that they didn't heat up to 70 degrees, because from this formula, I can see that there is no oil phase. So this more like, okay, they have the oil phase in phase C. So let's look at the process. Combine phase A ingredients, blending with a whisk or a mini mixer till the ingredients are homogeneous, set aside. Combine phase B ingredients until xanthan gum is evenly distributed and lump-free in sodium PCA. Immediately add phase A and B ingredients using a mixer till you get like a uniform viscosity, and then mix phase C ingredients to hold the entire vessel. So here you see that they don't really have, they didn't heat. They didn't heat. If we research this MO fix now, you find that this emulsix is more like a liquid emulsifier. So they didn't need anything to dissolve. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they didn't need anything to dissolve. So it was easy for them to use it in the phase A. But if they had to dissolve their waxes and heat up their water phase, Liquid Derma Plus would be in the cool down phase. So this is just to help us understand how we can incorporate ingredients and then be more creative with coming up with our own formulations. It's very important for every formulator, very important. So we use our Liquid Derma Plus at 0.5. Our lavender we can use at 0.52. And then our fragrance oil at 1 gram. Okay, I'm supposed to insert a new row here. I'll copy this, paste. So as you can see, the template is already doing your addition for you. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's already adding up your ingredients. So you know that, oh, it's not yet up to 100%. So we can now come back to look at what we can add to. We can add to our oil. We can introduce another oil. So we may want to add shea nut oil or rice bran oil. It has, how many of us know rice bran oil?
Good fancy agent.
And you know that herbal oil is not even one oil you want to use a lot because it's really pricey. If you don't have, if your customers are not the high-end customers, you may not want to use herbal oil. So much of it, I mean, because it's going to impact on the final pricing of your product. Then another thing is using infused oil. Like we said, cosmetic formulation in Africa, we want to be able to use our naturally derived, our naturally given ingredients as well. We want to infuse turmeric. So you can infuse turmeric in sunflower oil and bring it into your formulation. It also works really nice. Have you tried that before?
How does it work?
You know, turmeric helps with anti-inflammatory issues. It helps with brightening the skin too, naturally. So infusing turmeric into your oil, and I don't mean turmeric powder. If you're using the turmeric powder, you make sure you strain it well before you add it to your formula, or you use the turmeric, the fresh one itself, and then you dehydrate it in a dehydrator and use the steam distillation method to infuse it into your oil. I do that a lot. So when I want to make my infused oil, I make a lot of it. I can make 2 liters at once, dehydrate my plant material. Either you want to make neem oil or you want to make hibiscus oil ahead of time. You dehydrate them to remove any moisture, and then you infuse them in your oils, add your antioxidant to it, that's your vitamin E, and keep it aside. So when you want to make your formulations like this, it comes in very handy. So I can include another one here and say turmeric infused sunflower oil. And we can also use that as 6. You can see this has changed, giving us 7 more. We can increase our water because 60% is actually still low. Many times for lotions, water is usually around 70%. Many times, but that's too high. So let's say 68. I can increase the cetyl to 2. Okay, and reduce the water.
65.
We have 0.5. Oh, we haven't put our fragrance oil. So fragrance oil, let's say 1. And we could reduce vitamin E to 0.5. So you see, we have a 100% formula now. So now, let's take, for example, you want to make 1,000-gram batch. A 1,000-gram batch of this formula will be times 10 of everything you have in the formula. I hope we're not exhausted. How are we finding the class?
No.
How are we finding the session?
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Okay, thank you. So that will be like 10 times more than what we have. So just say 6 times 10, 5 times 10 will be 50. This will give us 5. This will give us 50, 100, 40, 20, 60, 5, 5, 10, 5. So there's a mistake somewhere. This is supposed to give us 1,000 gram. The total here is supposed to be 1,000 gram. So 0.5 times 10 is 5.
Yeah.
10 times 10. Okay, so I would have to check the formula used in this column. We'll check that later. Thank God I haven't sent it to you. So I'll just check the formula used in that column and make the adjustment.
Okay, I have a question here.
Okay.
Okay, now the total in percentage is 100. Let's say, for instance,
Yes.
you want to make 150 grams. You don't want to make 100 grams. You want to make 150 instead of 1,000 grams. How do you arrive at that?
That's multiplied by 1.5.
Each
so if
product,
you want to make
each line.
So yes, you multiply each one by 1.5.
Okay.
So I have my calculator here. I have my phone, so I can use my calculator. So like this is 66.
Because I was studying one formulation online, and the lady, let's say for instance, the water phase now where we have 66% for water, and then she said it's going to be 56 times 100 divided by 150. I don't know if that's correct.
It's like she's going again.
Hello, sorry, I'm back. My network.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen again. So the simple way to it is whatever gram you want to make, divide it by 100. What you get is what you're going to multiply all your ingredients with.
Okay.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
So if I open a plain tab here, let me find my notepad. So if you've gotten your 100% and then you want to make 2002 grams batch,
Oh.
all you just do is say 2002 divided by 100%. The figure you get is going to be your multiplication factor. So that's 22 divided by 100, that's 22. So everything in your formula would now be multiplied by 22 to get 2002 batch size.
Okay.
Is that clear?
So for item 1 is divided by 100.
No, not item 1. Item 1 times 22.
Okay.
So
Okay.
by the time, yes, item 1 times 22, like I said, this is just to help you get your multiplication factor.
All right.
Your batch size divided by 100. So item 1 times 22, item 2 times 22. By the time you add everything together, it should give you 2002 grams.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Yes, I'm going back to that slide. Okay, so, and here you could just put in your function. So that's how to come up with your formula. Do we have more questions around this?
Okay. How do you know that? For
So
instance,
you need that by the time you.
Hello. Hello.
I'm with you.
Okay. Take for instance.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Like this formula now. Can you hear me? Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. For instance, this formula now. How do you know that it's going to give you the exact result that you're looking for?
It's by experimenting.
Okay.
It's by experimenting, really.
Okay.
That's why you find that before people launch out products, they give testers out,
Okay.
right? Even when you're researching, when you're doing further research on ingredients, you many times come across statements like niacinamide was used on about 100 women, and in
Yes.
4 weeks, 60 women
Yeah.
found that their skin tone improved by 5%. So you have to just wear that hat of a scientist. You can't be in a rush. You can't
Okay.
be yes. So you just need to be in that mode of experimenting, and then by the time you've tested, you'll be able to have, your, how will I put it now? You'll be able to say, yes, this is what works for a lot of people. And that's why we have a lot of ingredients, because we find that somebody may be doing so well with your niacinamide cream, but somebody is not, some other person is not even seeing any results. Like even after 6 weeks, there's still nothing you get.
Hmm.
So you want to try another ingredient. That's why you find brands
Okay.
having this cream, that cream, yeah. So anazelic acid is really good, is a good alternative for something like niacinamide, like a more potent alternative. So
It's quite pricey.
I'll just go. Yes, it's pricey. Yes, it's pricey. It's pricey.
I just did a research on it not quite long. I went to price it. It was on the high side.
Yes. So before you use it, you need to consider, you need to know the kind of customer. Is it a customer that will be able to pay premium, or better still, you make it in really small containers, maybe like a 30 ml container, so that the price is not too high. Because in the end, people want a product that will work. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
So in the end, people are looking for something that will work. So even if
Yes.
it's pricey, it's really small and the price is high, as long as it works, they will keep coming back for it. So here we'll be talking about setting up your home lab. Do we need to stretch? Do we need like a 5 minutes break?
I think I have a question I want to ask about the fragrance oil, ma.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, it's not totally related to the production of lotion. I actually tried making an exfoliating black soap. And as we all know, black soaps have this very strong odor. So I included a teaspoon of my fragrance oil, but I noticed it didn't give me that scent I needed. So I don't know if there's actually an alternative to fragrance oils.
Well, maybe you should check the mix of the one you used, because some fragrance oils come really mild, some fragrance oils are strong. So you probably need to look for, probably go to visit, not just maybe doing online buying this time,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
visit a product, an ingredient, supplier, and smell different
Okay. Okay.
fragrances. Because using a teaspoon is not even advisable. Try to measure that teaspoon, pour it on your
Yes.
scale,
Yeah.
and get to know the grams you're using.
Okay,
All
ma'am.
right. Yes. So you can find that 5 grams of clementine fragrance, or lick me all over. I don't know if you know that fragrance. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yes. Is it sold there
Wow.
in Nigeria? Yes, I saw it on one international website like that.
I have a supplier that sells it in Nigeria.
Okay, I don't mind.
Yes. Yes. It's really nice. So you can find that maybe 3 grams of liquid all over will smell so good, and 3 grams of loving spell will smell like there's nothing inside. You know, understand? So it's just the blend, the make of the fragrance. Some are more potent than the other. So you probably need to visit a supplier because black soap, yes, black soap is strong, you know, something like Irish cream fragrance. Oh my God. The moment you even open Irish cream, everywhere is, you know, everywhere is smelling. You know, those kind of fragrances are good for black soap. Those kind of fragrances are good for black soap. So that fragrance you are using might be too mild. And you don't want to now keep adding and adding and adding, because it's not fragrance you are selling now. It's black soap. So you don't want the fragrance to be more than the ingredients that are really, because those are just for aesthetics, right? Those are just for aesthetics. Yes. Even for babies, yes, those are not the main thing we're selling. Those are just so that your customer falls in love with your product from the beginning. Yes. So, and the funny thing is that many people are even leaning towards fragrance-free products. I don't know if you've noticed. A lot of people are beginning to like fragrance-free products because to them it just speaks more natural. So you don't want to overload your formulations with fragrances. But then customers are different, so just know your customer. Know your customer, and in your best ability, give them what they would want. So you can have black soap that is fragranced, and you have another black soap that is fragrance free. It allows people to, especially for baby products. Baby products don't need too much, especially when children are even having issues like ELA in Yoruba, you know, or rashes. You want to go off products because their skin is sensitive. And one of the things that stimulates skin issues is fragrance and essential oils. So for babies, you can even develop products that don't have fragrance at all. Instead of using fragrance, you use hydrosols. So instead of using water, you use rose water or lavender water. Those will still give your products it will not give it that harsh natural smell, and it will still not make it overly fragrant. So it just makes it mild for a child.
Okay.
So setting up your home lab. I was asking if we need to stretch. Are we fine?
Okay. Let's just continue.
Okay, then. So we continue. Setting up your home lab. Basic equipment for a beginner. So we have your notepad. You can see the first one is your notepad. Like, always have a note with you. Always write down whatever. Sometimes you do your 100% formula and your pH is not okay. You need to use a pH adjuster to you need to be able to note it that in this formula, I added an extra 1% of oil. You understand? You want to be able to notice that in this formula, I added this, so your notepad is very important. Your precision scale, your digital scale, the ones that measure 0 points, even if it doesn't measure 2 decimal places, at least 1 decimal place is good. Then your pH meter. In the beginning, you may not have a pH meter. You may use a pH strip in the beginning. But of course, the goal should be to make sure you eventually move to using a pH meter. Your hand blender, your thermometer, your jugs, your stirring rods or your stainless steel spoons, your scoops, your pots, your heat source, and your calculator. As you can see, we calculate in formulation too. So your calculator is important. And for safety, it's very important to be safety conscious when you're making products. It's highly important, like very important. Even if we're not there, the danger of spills and all of that is there, but even the danger of inhaling, okay, when you're emulsifying, make sure you're not, many times we are tempted to be right in front of the mixture, and inhaling all that emulsification process is not too good. So you try to step back or wear your nose masks, just to protect yourself. And then, like I said, yeah, when we work with natural ingredients, it doesn't mean that they are always safe. Okay, make sure you wear your gloves. Make sure you wear your gloves. There was a time I had people working in my factory, and the production manager just felt, uh, yeah, she's tired of this glove. So she went to make bar soap, and after the thing traced, it burnt her hand. I was like, I'm not there. I did not teach you that. So I'm like, you're on your own. And from that day, nobody taught her to start wearing her gloves. So make sure you maintain. It doesn't have to be that somebody is watching you, or maybe NAFDAC is coming for inspection. It's for your own good. It's for your own good. One of the things NAFDAC requires for your production room is for you to have holes in your production room, so that if peradventure something, hot burns someone, you can easily pour water, and then the water does not stay in the room. The water can easily flow out, you know. So safety is very important. Those of us that make bar soaps know that lye water is very dangerous. So yes, it's very hot, and it's not something you want to leave around carelessly. If you're still working from home where you have children around, that's something that you should keep very far away from where any child can get to. So it's very important to be safety conscious when you're formulating your product. Very important. Even covering your hair is part of safety, because you don't want your customer to buy your lotion and then they are picking out your strand of hair from the product. Like, oh my God, how will you feel if that's if you buy a product and you are seeing hair in it? So make sure, even though you are making your product from your home lab, make sure you cover your hair, to be sure that nothing gets into your product. It's all part of safety. So okay, so this is just an explanation of some of the explanations, like I've just said. Prevent spills and breakages. Place only items you need. So when you want to formulate, you already have your formula. Bring out only the ingredients you need to your table, so you don't overcrowd everywhere, and make your workstation as clean as possible. Be careful when using heat. Make sure, sometimes you're during the lockdown, I had to work from home a lot, and sometimes the children will not just sleep. You have to make your product. You have to make sure that nobody is disturbing you. So it's not when you are carrying your heated water or your heated oil and trying to take it to your table, then somebody runs, and something spills or pours. You just need to be very careful. And then making sure that your workspace is well ventilated. Essential oils are potent, so you need to make sure that you're working in a place that is aerated, so that you don't inhale too much of all these things. Make sure your electrical equipment are working well to prevent shocks. Then, like for my heat source, I use an electric heat source. I made sure there's a breaker there, so that if there is any issue, it's the breaker that goes out. Not yes. So you have to make sure you pay attention to all of those details. Make sure you're wearing your gloves whenever you're working to prevent splashes and all that. Maintain a good posture when working. If you use any item often, make sure that they are close by so you don't have to, overly try to reach them. Then obtain and maintain the copy of the safety data sheet for the ingredients you use. So like familiarize yourself with the contents of that will guide, and this will guide you to avoid so like the safety data sheet, let me show you that. We can go back to so this is the SDS tech data, the safety data sheet. Because these are some of the things NAFDAC will ask you. If where you source for your product, and if they give you a safety, guide on how those. So like, look at your safety data sheet here. So most suppliers, but suppliers in Ojota don't have safety data sheets. If you buy ingredients from Ojota, many of them don't. They can't give you. They won't be able to provide this. So look at it. It tells you to wear eye protection, face protection, wear protective gloves, and then if there's an issue, like if it pours on your skin, wash with plenty of soap and water. If it's in the eyes, rinse cautiously with water for several minutes. Remove contact lenses if present. And so it just tells you what to do if there is any issue. So it's always good to have your safety data sheet. If skin irritation or rash occurs, get medical attention. Wash contaminated clothing before reuse, dispose. So NAFDAC just wants to know that you understand that ingredient you're using and you're prepared. So you can see the section 4, it talks about first aid measures. Talks about first aid measures, and this is where we'll be talking about if breathe in, move into a fresh area, an area where there's fresh air. And so that's all of that. So for every ingredient, you can come to read the safety data sheet if there's any issue. Are we good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's so many other things to bear in mind, but I believe those are good. So basic hygiene. As consumers, the last thing we want is a situation where a product we want to purchase will show signs of harboring microbial matter. Like if that happens, I'm sure you will never buy that product again. So it's very important to maintain good safety, good hygiene, right? So as part of your formulation, you should always spray everything with isopropyl alcohol, your ingredient, your tools, not your ingredient, your tools, your workplace. Make sure you disinfect with isopropyl alcohol. That includes your hand blender, everything. Sterilize them first. And then if you need to wipe anything, use kitchen rolls that will not leave residue in your container. Yeah, because if you use the regular soft tissue paper, it can stick to your container, and then your customers will start seeing tissue in your product. So it's better to use these kitchen rolls that are strong, that are, you know, more compact and hard sheets for your ingredients. So here we'll be talking about getting NAFDAC approval. So getting NAFDAC approval. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here I list a couple of documentation that is needed, you know, for your NAFDAC approval. You need your CAC, that's your company registration. You need your trademark to be registered. And then one of the things the NAFDAC officials want to see is your SOP. That's your standard operating process. How do you carry out your processes? How do you distribute? How do you clean your factory? How do you produce your product? Do you understand? They want to see your standard operating process for everything. Let me look on my system to show you if I can lay my hand on mine. Um, okay, so I'm looking for where to share my documents. Yes, can you see this? Can we see this? Okay, so this is standard operating process for our black liquid wash, right? You find that we have documents for cleaning, for distribution, for operation production, for quality control, for water treatment. They want to see everything, your step-by-step process of documentation. So I open that. I need to share that one. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see standard operating procedure for cleaning. Procedure: we sweep surrounding daily before and after production. We empty waste bags into the bin. We dispose. They want to know how you even dispose your waste bins, your trash. Do you understand? They want to know how you dispose your trash. If you are considering the community, is it eco-friendly, right? Your interior, that's inside the factory. Now, the first one was surrounding, outside, inside now. After each day's production, we sweep, scrub with brush, mop with liquid soap, clean with dedicated towel, wash and fumigate. We paint the factory once every year, and then so by the time I submitted this, it was prepared by my production manager, checked by me, and then approved by me. So that's what your standard operating procedure looks like for every product you make. Are we clear on that? Are we clear on
Yes.
that? Or you want me to show you another one?
Yes.
Yes.
Fair.
So I can move on, right?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. Sorry, which screen are you seeing? Are you seeing the slides?
No. Okay, the slide is on.
Okay.
Okay, the slides, okay. Okay, so your standard operating procedure for every product you'll be making and every step, of the way, your certificates for your workers, your production manager. Like if you didn't read a science course, then you will need a production manager. So for example, I'm the lead formulator, but I didn't study biology, I didn't study chemistry. So I needed to have a production manager who read that. Okay. So you need to provide that certificate of your production manager must have a science-based first degree, must have completed NYC and all of that. Then you need to have your certificate of analysis of products. So before it gets to the point of inspection and all, you should have sent samples of your product to the lab and then have it analyzed. So some of the things they will check is if it is bacteria free and all that. They would also need your fumigation certificate because they are very particular about hygiene, how often you clean your factory and fumigate. The medical certificate of your staff, that's to know if they are fit to work, and then the request for your labels. And some of the details they want to see on your label is your logo, your the net weight of your ingredients, the name of your product, um, the direction of use, how are your customers going to use the product. They want to know the ingredients in your product. They want to know, they want you to also put the name of your company, your contact details. And something that is also really important is your batch numbering system and your production date and expiry date. Very important. So what your batch number does is it makes it easy to recall back some products. So take for example, we formulate a batch of product today, the 28th of March. And then using our batch numbering system, we call it batch 211. Okay. So batch 211 goes out to supermarkets, different places, and then customers begin to have issues. Maybe it was growing mold, or maybe it's separated after it was put under the sun or something. And NAFDAC needs you to get that product out of the market. It is the batch number that will help you to be able to recall back that product. Do you understand? If you didn't put a batch number to it, there's no way they'll be, so they could just shut down your whole company. So it's actually for your own good because NAFDAC is more interested in the good of the consumers. Okay, they are always watching the back of the consumers. So if you don't have a batch numbering system, you are the one that is going to shut, because they will just shut down the whole thing. But if you have numbered them with batches, you'll be able to say, okay, that was the supply made on the 29th, and that production was made on the 28th of March, and the batch number for that production was 211. So you just call back all the products with batch number 211, and just that saves your head. Did we find that helpful?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mentioned here that due to COVID, NAFDAC has really taken a lot of their processes online. Okay. So they've also moved online with a lot of the processes, which actually makes it easy. You don't have to start parabolating that office, going to meet one person or the other. You can just kickstart online, and then they fix a date when you are invited, when they will be coming for inspection. And some of the things they also want to see in your factory is your demarcation. Okay, so I see people really fidget about this. It's not so much of a big deal. They are actually also considerate because they know that a lot of so many businesses are small scale businesses that are just starting. So they don't expect you to have a mansion for a factory. You can just get a 2-bedroom and demarcate them with plywood. You know, like I mentioned somewhere, I was saying that the most important thing NAFDAC that I see as the big deal is having a space that is outside your kitchen. Once you can have a space outside your kitchen, you find out that many things would be looked into or worked over for you. So the most important thing to work out is a space outside your kitchen, you know, just to be sure that you have a separate place where you do that. So even if it's a small place, you can start with it, demarcate it. Your production room is the most important. You have a raw material store. You have a clocking room. That's where your workers would change into, maybe they wear an apron or they wear a coverall. That's why they would change into that. So usually they come in from your clocking room. So from outside in the morning, from the gate, they go to the clocking room, change into their work clothes and shoe. So many times Crocs are used in factories. I don't know if you've noticed, rubber Crocs. So it's just easy to rinse with water if there's any spill or something. So they move from there to the raw material room, pick whatever you'll be working with, go to the production room, make your products, and then take them to the finished product store. So it's in the finished product room, you have your numbering arrangement, you know, the first in, first out. You should have a first in, first out system. So the first product you make should be the ones to go out first before the next one. So you just arrange your shelves like that. Do we get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they want to
Yes.
see. Yeah, so that's basically what they want to see. If you can, and then, you know, be open, be transparent about where you get your raw materials from, how you source your raw materials. They are most likely not going to call them. They will just take down the, you know, details and all of that. And then you finish up with your labels, you send them. They also take some of your products now to their own lab. And once your product passes their own, you know, test, they issue out your numbers. That's it basically with NAFDAC. Do we have any question in that area?
No.
So that's it basically. So if you would like to take any of our courses, for the purpose of those of you that are in this class, I'm giving them out at discounted rates. If you want to take our natural skincare formulation course or our natural hair care formulation course, it's going for 40,000 naira just for 2 weeks. Or if it's only the lotion class you want to take, that's fine. For 2 weeks, they're discounted, and you will learn a whole lot. You learn a lot because I'm a very thorough person. Yeah, so you will learn a whole lot. And would also have Zoom sessions where you can ask me questions, where we'll hang out face to face like this, and then you ask me your questions directly. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming. I am so grateful to have you. Please tell me. Let me hear from you. How was it? Let me stop sharing my screen. screen so I can see your faces well.
Okay, 1 and 2.
So tell me, how was the class? Did it meet your expectation?
Yeah.
Well, it was a very interesting course, and there is a lot of benefit in it. It's just that for the NAFDAC registration, does one really has to set it outside his home, or even inside his home, he can get a room where he can have a place to work with inside his house.
Yes, so one thing you can do is if there's a door to that room that leads from outside.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So like you're not entering the room from the house.
Inside the house, okay.
You find a lot of houses now that have BQs that are like you have to go from the kitchen outside and then open the door. Yes. So that works. That works well.
That works also. Okay.
Yes, that works well.
Okay. And you said for someone who did not read a science course, if he's going to have a production manager, is it a production manager as you put it? Then he has to look for someone who has who reads either chemistry or is it chemistry or physics that pertains all this?
Chemistry, microbiology, biochemistry, those biological courses.
Okay. These are only mainly for lotion making, like cosmetics making in the lotion part, or even the butter part.
Even the butter
like
part, everything cosmetics.
Body butter.
Yes, everything cosmetics. Yes, everything cosmetics.
Okay. And I would like to ask you, pertaining the body butter, sometimes when you use shea butter, when you whipped it to make it into a buttery form, a softer form, later on it goes down. What does one need to, how does one make it stay solid and fluffy?
Well, you need to come and take my class.
Okay. Because I tried mixing the shea butter and the cocoa butter with what's it called? Coconut oil and olive oil. At first, it was well formed, well creamy, but with the heat here in Abuja now, it's melting. Yes, it started melting because of the heat. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there is something else.
Adding some emulsifiers actually help too.
Okay. I thought the emulsifiers are for
but the no. That's why I said you should come and take our class.
Okay, I will. I will. It's interesting.
But another thing you can do is to make emulsified body butters. It will save you from your butters melting. It will still be fluffy, to be thick, it will be moisturized, but it will not melt. Because like you said, Abuja, the sun is really high. So you may want to have a variant of body butters that are emulsified.
Okay. That's
yes.
Okay. We will see at the course, yeah. I will try.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Victoria, looks like you want to say something.
Yeah, I want to say something here. I so much appreciate this training. It's opened my eyes a lot that the cosmetic industry a serious business.
Yeah.
The training you've given today is very, very, very educative. It's like no other one which I've attended before. All I've been attending has just been rubbish. So this is highly informative as to what to expect in the cosmetic industry, and that it's a serious business. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marcella. Thank you. Victoria, do you want to say something before we go?
Victoria is a professional.
I need to hear her feedback because I want to know if she found it valuable.
It's valuable. It's valuable. You know, like I chatted with you before I signed up for this training, and I said the area where I'm really lacking is to be able to put out the formulation. Although the DIYs I'm doing is really it's giving me information, but the skincare industry is has gone past that area of 1 cup, 1 teaspoon. I really want to be talking like a professional and then be able to say this is my own creation, not following recipe. I should be able to know. There was one webinar I attended a few days ago, but unfortunately it was fluctuating. The lady also talked about something that at some point you have to be able to know that this formulation is going to give you this. If you're adding this powder to this, it's able to give you this without batting an eyelid. I want to get to that area of my life where I'm able to know that this powder combines with this powder, gives you how many shades, works in how many days, works in how many months. So this is just like a preamble. And
so something we can do together is to standardize your DIYs. So you bring your DIY formula and then we make it into a professional formula. Do you understand?
Okay.
I've done that I've done that many times. So I pick your 1 cup, 1 teaspoon, all of that, and then we make it into a professional formula so that you can continue to create consistent products that are standardized and professional. Do you understand? So with being able to know the particular scope or amount to use, it comes with experience. It's nothing out of the blues, okay? It comes with practice. You know, like I said with the template, you'll be able to make a version 1. So when you make version 1 of this body butter and you used 1 extract, you use maybe mulberry extract and licorice extract at 5 grams, and then you test it for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, this is the result you get. Then we tweak it again. We make version 2 of that same formula. Can you see?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Then you make version 2 of that same formula, and then we increase it. And you know, you'll be able to tell, oh, if this will now give, so then you'll be able to say intense body brightening lotion, and this is just mild if you want to maintain your, because it gets to a time where you just want to maintain your skin tone. You don't want to keep brightening up. So you can make the version 1 your brightening lotion, and then you make your version 2 the intense body brightening lotion, something like that.
Okay, does it also work with
nothing
using store-bought products? Working with already made products? Does it work with that as well?
Okay, so that's pro mixing, right? Where you make already made products. And so what some people do is they make their own products from scratch, and then they add some form of store-made product to their formulation, right? But the main thing is to be able to note it. So that product may not even come into your 100% formula, but it is there in your notes that for every 100% of this lotion base, you are adding 5 grams of whatever it is. So that way you can repeat the same thing
Create it, yes.
every time you need to make that product.
Yes.
So you don't just go as the spirit leads. You know the point. You don't just go as the spirit leads. You measure it and note it. So you know that for every 100% of my lotion base, I add 5 grams of whatever it is.
Hmm.
So that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Please, may I ask about this? I see a lot of adverts in Instagram about people making all these lightening body lotions, this mulatto, whatever. But I don't find it healthy for the skin. But is it okay as people just like lightening their skin?
Well, that's something for people to deal with. One of the things I've found in skin and hair care is try to manipulate. Like, your hair is not coily, you want it to be coily. Your hair is not straight like Oyinbo zone, you want it to be relaxed. So we try to manipulate things. So it's just personal, it's completely personal. I cannot say what they're doing is bad. It's completely personal to them. But what is important for everyone is to love yourself and accept yourself the way you are. Otherwise, you will keep, you know, yeah, you will keep trying many things. You keep trying many things.
Okay, thank you.
And
Can I say something?
set the boundaries for yourself and know where you want to stop. You understand? The reason many hair growth products are selling is not because some people, it's not that they are dealing with hair loss. So it's just that some people want their hair to be full, maybe like my own. And God already made some follicles, on our scalp. Now, there is no hair product that will bring new hair follicles into your scalp. I hope we know that. There is no hair oil that would create hair follicles to your scalp. There's no hair oil. But you know, you keep buying all the hair oil, they'll bring this one today, you buy it, they bring out today, you buy it. If you're dealing with hair loss, that's a different case, you know. But if it's not hair loss and you're just trying to, you know, have a particular kind of look, you can achieve those looks with the styles you make, but not with products. So that's where customers get it wrong. So I can pack my hair in a way now that makes my hair look really small. And I can pack my hair in a way that makes it look like my hair is very big. So you can achieve different looks, you know, with styles, but you cannot grow hair from scalp where there is no follicle. Did that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Ma, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Okay, I actually find this class interesting because from what you discussed, I'm able to convert teaspoons and cups into grams, which is one of the basic interesting things I was able to gather today. So my question is, how can someone certify him or herself as a professional based on the fact that you didn't study chemistry, but you actually have passion for skincare and you really want to go into it? And you know, it takes a step-by-step experimenting, trial and error. So I want to know, at what stage can someone certify he or herself a professional?
Well, in Nigeria now, we don't have a certifying body to say you're a professional. You understand? In Nigeria now, we don't have a school you go to where they will certify you professional. So what certifies you professional is you, first of all, your confidence, your gaining of knowledge. How many courses have you taken? And then have you been able to replicate what you studied? Are you confident in your formulations? Do you understand? So those are the things. Until we have a certifying body, which is why skincare is one of the easy businesses to go into in Nigeria now. You find everybody doing skincare because for now, we don't have a certifying body to say this is an association of certified skincare gurus in Nigeria. We don't have that yet. So it's still courses here and there, courses here and there.
Okay, I think I would like to take an advanced course on lotions and bar soaps. So I think I will.
Yes, we offer that.
I'll private chat you.
Okay, please, what's your name? What's your name? I'm seeing Galadri.
That's the name of my phone.
Oh, please, what's your name?
Chiamaka.
Oh, Chiamaka. Okay. Treasure, right? Treasure.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I remember. Good to see you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
You're welcome. Mrs. Veronica, hello. Are you there? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I joined you so late, so.
Yeah, I saw your WhatsApp message.
I'd like to start with you because it's interesting.
Okay, okay. So how did you find the parts you attended?
It was quite interesting. Very, 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 very. You know, you always do it right.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you. So that'll be it for today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So our courses are up for grabs till April 12th. Take advantage of the discounts this Easter holiday. Thank you so much. Please leave a message for me on WhatsApp. Please, please, please. I need your social proof. Okay. I need your feedbacks. I need your social proof. Please just leave a message for me to just say how the class was. I will really appreciate it. I will really appreciate it. Please just leave a message on what you learned and how the class was. I would really appreciate
Is it
that.
on WhatsApp? On WhatsApp, ma'am?
Yes, either WhatsApp or Instagram, wherever we communicated on is fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Please, do you have a WhatsApp group where you bring together all the students that have learned from you?
I don't. So should I create one?
At least it's a good avenue to pull heads together. What's trending, what's happening in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll create one, but I don't have everybody's WhatsApp number. So please, if you can help me drop your WhatsApp number, I would really appreciate. I'll create one and I'll add you guys to it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
As many people that you have, we can come together as one.
Yes. Thank you very much. Please tell your friends about the replay. We'll put the replay up before the end of the week so they can also pay for the replay too.
All right.
Thank you.
So where are we going to get the
where are you going to replay it?
I will put the link up on my bio, and I can also send you the link, the purchase link. I can send it to everybody too. So if you have anybody that wants to buy the replay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. You're going to get an email from me. Yes, you're going to get an email from me tomorrow on the eBooks I'll be sharing with you. And it will be a nice idea to have a group where we talk about the things you learned from the eBooks, just to share your learnings.
It's better that way instead of having to send to different people. At least you save your energy and send it in one place.
Yes, okay. And then we can we can pick one of the books and just, share our learnings on the books. They are really good.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love to read a lot. So it's one of the things that will make you bold to talk to people when you have knowledge. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. We did 3 hours. Wow. Thank you for staying with me for
Unbelievable.
3 hours. That's a lot. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a lovely week ahead. God bless
Thank
you.
you. God bless everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.